Hey, it's Rob. We're back with Wax Wednesday after a week off, and actually getting a little late into the Wednesday for this week. But just how it plays out sometimes. We're not on any sort of timetable here, are we? Last week, I made last week a short week. I took Easter Monday off. That's when I normally do film these things, so that threw me off. And on Wednesday itself, I had my final exam in the class that I teach at UNB. So and I had to prep for that. So yeah, I just took the week off. That's cool, right? Right? Yeah. Last night, and this is why I'm glad I did wait for this week. I had the opportunity to look at a collection, and my word, it was a lot of jazz and a lot of classical. The jazz interests me more than the classical does. But I'm telling you, the person was obviously very proud of his collection, treated his records really, really well. Uh, Obviously, somewhat of an audiophile. Anyway, sadly, it's a situation where it was his collection and he had passed away, and his widow is looking to downsize a little bit, and a mutual friend reached out to myself and Krista, and we went over last night and we had a look. And man, I wish I could have bought more because there were quite a few nice records there. But I did grab some that I'm awfully glad that I did. Nothing that I would call an original pressing, but nice pressings nonetheless. And as suspected, or I like to think about, jazz fans, they would treat their records very well. I think that was definitely the case with this gentleman, and I want to thank Karen for having us over last night for the look at the albums. And yes, I did grab a few that I'm quite happy with, and yeah. So let's get to it, and a couple to wrap the session today that I picked up when I was in Cape Breton, and I'm kind of happy about those as well. But I got a lot of records here, so we're going to move right through it, okay? I gave all these nice plastic sleeves, so they're nice and safe. But first up is the legendary Kind of Blue, Miles Davis. If I can kind of make use of the light here, maybe I can give you some sort of indication as to how nice these records are. Like, look at that. Not a mark, not a blemish, just as clean as you could get. This is a 1980 pressing. So, it's still 45 years old, and it's in incredible shape. I have another version of Kind of Blue, but mine has a skip in one of the tracks. So, and I listened to this one last night, and it plays so clean. Gorgeous record. Awfully glad to have that. Actually, out of this collection that I went to look at last night, this is the first of 5 Miles Davis records that I picked up. 5 of them. I'll show you them all. This is another beauty. A 1984 pressing. So again, not an original pressing of this Sonny Rollins record, but one of my favorite saxophone players for sure. This is a 1984 pressing, but again, it's a mono pressing. It's on the legendary jazz label Blue Note. And again, if you can see how, my word, just so nice. So nice. My gorgeous record. The jacket is in fantastic shape. I'm just blown away. So yeah, 2 down in what was a stack of about 11 that I picked up. 10 or 11, I don't know. But nice records, all of them. So Sonny Rollins on the Blue Note label. Lovely. Excuse me. This is a series. This is an I Love Jazz series. And this is a compilation. Miles Davis, Blue Christmas. It kind of covers his career, dating back to October of 1955 to, let's see, 1962, it looks like, is the latest date on here. But again, a nice compilation. It's called Blue Christmas. I haven't listened to this one yet, so I don't know if it actually is, a version of Blue Christmas or not. So anyway, we'll check it out later. But again, a nice little comp, and glad to have that. Here is Miles with Monk, Thelonious Monk, at Newport, which is a live album. Newport 19, let's see, trying to look what year that would have been. 1958 looks like. So Newport is a legendary folk festival in Rhode Island. Pretty much back in the 50s and 60s, it was a who's who of who would play there, from Johnny Cash to Bob Dylan to the Staple Singers to Muddy Waters to Miles and Monk. Legendary festival. And this is a performance by these two jazz legends recorded at Newport. So, bravo. This is Ella, live in Montreux. Crystal loves her Ella Fitzgerald. And actually, I do too. The queen of scat singing, which sounds like it's just, sounds when you listen to it. But when you listen to how she does it, you can see what a talent it is, and that it is improvised, but at the same time, you have to have a real good grasp of what you're doing to pull it off. It's just not as simple as going scooty-doo-wah on everything. It's she's a master of it. So anyway, again, we just got these last night. Haven't listened to this one yet, but if it's like any other Ella Fitzgerald live recordings I've heard, live is the best way to appreciate her. So she has a good time with the audience. So yeah, Ella. Oh, another legendary Miles Davis record, Sketches of Spain. I think the year this came out would have been 1961. Again, this is a reissue. Yeah. Working with the Canadian Gil Evans on this kind of very, very busy recording, but it's classic Miles for sure, as he's kind of transitioning out of his bop phase. I wish I could give you a better lecture on jazz, but I'm just learning about this stuff myself. And it was during the pandemic that I started to listen to more jazz music and kind of get an appreciation for it. And I'm so glad to have these titles. I will fine-tooth comb each and every one of these, and probably in a year's time I would give you a much better breakdown of these records. But suffice to say, this is classic Miles Davis, one of his big albums, and glad to have it in my collection. So lovely. This is kind of later period Miles. This is 1986. This came out, and the production kind of has that 80s sound to it. But there are still some classic moments of Miles on here, some interesting things, including the title track. Very good. So, yeah, glad to have this. It wasn't all Miles, though. Coltrane Ole. This is a 1976 pressing. So, again, not an original, but on the Atlantic label nonetheless. John Coltrane is one of the legends of kind of free association and expression in jazz music, and yeah, this is considered one of his classics, and this has a nice value to it as well. It's a beautiful record, and again, like everything else in this collection, it was in incredible shape. I picked up this because I thought it was kind of cool. It's a Miles Davis box set. It's from the Book of the Month Club, and it spans his career from the 50s straight on through to the kind of more late 60s fusion era. So it kind of covers Miles Davis's career, or at least what would be considered the peak of his career in 3 albums. So again, a compilation. As far as a value to it, you might think this would be worth like a lot of money, and even though it's very nice, it's probably worth about $20. But again, like everything else, amazing condition. So again, looking forward to this. Oh yeah, there were some pop albums in this collection. So I did manage to grab a beautiful copy of this again. Shiny like new, the final cut, Pink Floyd. This would be Roger Waters' baby, as far as Pink Floyd material goes. Probably, you could safely say David Gilmour is starting to lose interest in the project at this point, and it's kind of like the last gasp for the band. It's often thought of as a lousy record by so many. But actually, I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty good, and I think it deserves a little vindication because it's not a bad record at all. Pink Floyd's The Final Cut, again, a beautiful copy. So that's what I got from that collection, and again, I'm just blown away by how well kept and how well preserved those albums were. Obviously, someone who loved his record collection, so I'm awfully glad that some of it will live on with me. All right, so I do take a little pride in that. I'm kind of weird that way. Okay, and when I was over in Cape Breton over the Easter holiday, Aunt Mary, that's Krista's aunt, said I've got a box of records you can certainly have, and thank you very much, Mary. It was fun to go through those records and have a look at them. And I'm holding on to a few of them, but these two are the ones that I kind of go, oh, right. I knew there'd be something good in there that I would really love to see, and sure enough, I got a couple. For whatever reason, I'm a big fan of Dusty Springfield. I love her vocals as far as the British pop in the early 60s. She's about as close to that Phil Spector sound as they came up with over there. And of course, she's got that deep, soulful voice that really translated well when she worked with the Muscle Shoals group of musicians and recorded Dusty in Memphis with the classic Son of a Preacher Man. I just love Dusty Springfield. And I picked up this from that collection, which is in pretty good shape. There are some surface marks on it, but honestly, nothing that's really going to affect the playback that much. This is Stay a While, I Only Want to Be With You, which is just a great pop single from that era. And the jacket's in really good shape. The record itself is not bad. Certainly one that I don't mind or feel worried about setting it on and wrecking my needle or anything like that. No, this is in pretty good shape. And awfully glad to have this. When I got home, I was pretty quick to throw this on to see how it sounded. And it sounds great. Actually, it sounds really good. The production, it just kind of leaps right off the record on this one. It's fantastic. And, of course, another classic Dusty, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, which is just one of Dusty's great melodramatic moments of pop music, but again, a great performance by one of the great voices of the 60s. I love me some Dusty Springfield, so thank you, Aunt Mary and Bobby. Yeah, I had a great time going through that box of records. They were awesome. This is Wax Wednesday. Wow, what a week I had. And like I say, I still picked up some stuff, so I've even if I don't buy anything in the next 7 days, I've got stuff to do, lots of content over the next few weeks. So we're in good shape here. So till next Wednesday, enjoy your vinyl and throw some on tonight. I'm Rob, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.